Hey, what's going on everyone? My name is Black Era. Now, before I start the video, I'm gonna be talking about the specialist transmissions because I was listening to some of them and I was just like paying attention into the detail and all that, and I was just thinking, wow, some of these specialists have some crazy transmissions. But before the video starts, if you like to listen to the transmissions on your own, close this video right now because there are some spoilers. I have most of the hero gear complete, so a lot more of their transmissions are done, are unlocked. You can hear them now. So if you don't want any spoilers on the transmissions, I recommend you close this video right now. But before you do, leave a like. Let me know what you think down below in the comment section. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and subscribe. Now, without further ado, let's get into these transmissions. I'm gonna start with Ruin. Ruin, his transmissions aren't really that like interesting. He's actually just telling a story that him and Battery went through. And in the end, he ends up Nomad and Outrider end up coming to the rescue, but Spectre is also there helping them, but he's not really doing much. So I won't really worry about his Outriders. I don't have her hero gear, so I can't really play her transmissions. I have like her main 3 transmissions, but you know, you can find those out on your own. Prophet, his are actually like he talks about like why he got his before he got his cybernetics. That's what the word is. Before he got his cybernetics, you know, he was taking care of his sick parents, and they ended up dying on him. So he got a DNI, and he says he felt alive again. I'll see if I can find which one it is. I think it's 7.1. I'll go ahead and play it. I'll be quiet so you can hear it.
When I got back into the engineering corps, I volunteered for DNI implantation. There was a waiting list. They were prioritizing people whose jobs would most benefit from the enhanced capabilities. Wasn't long before I was selected. Once I recovered from the surgery and system calibration was done, training my new abilities began. I'll never forget the sensation of reaching out with my mind for the first time to control a machine with my thoughts. It was completely natural, instinctive, like reaching out to catch a ball. I felt complete for the first time in my life, like I was finally realizing my potential. I signed up for every enhancement program going. Enhanced DNI processing capacity, limb replacement, optics, audio, comms, medical systems. Whatever was on offer, no matter how experimental, I wanted it.
Okay, so he talked about like how he's getting all these cybernetics. That's why he's like this. I'll go ahead and put his regular outfit back. Look at all his cybernetics. His legs, his arms, his eyes, even his mouth and teeth. You can see you can see his tongue and teeth in his hero gear head, but like I don't think I'm gonna be able to do that. I was not a big fan of Glitch. It took me so long just to get Cyberpunk. So sorry about that. Battery, her transmissions are just about her brother's funeral, like how she was home and all that. She stayed, she went back, and then she's following her brother's footsteps into fighting what she believes in. Oh my god, Seraph's transmissions are about how loyal she is to the 54i. I'll see which one it is, but like one of them is really crazy. I think it's this one.
The day of my elevation was a great day. I was escorted to the biodomes and granted an audience with the late leader Go Min and his sister Sholan. It wasn't the first time I'd met them, but in their presence, I could feel their greatness. Understood what they had built for us there in the quarantine zone. Sholan herself brought a box down towards me, placed it on a table, and told me to open it. Inside, 2 of the most beautiful things I'd ever seen. My Annihilator, and the custom cybernetic arm I would need to wield it. She drew her own blade, and I took it with my left hand. In order to be worthy of this honor, I would have to show what I was prepared to sacrifice, without breaking eye contact with her. I placed my right hand on the table, and began the surgeon's work.
Wow, so she is so loyal to the 54i that she literally had her right arm chopped off right in front of her, and she didn't break eye contact. Wow, that's just crazy. That just proves how loyal she is to the 54i. She doesn't joke, she doesn't play around, she takes her job very seriously. And this is just a game too. Man, Nomads was actually pretty cool as well. I'm not a big fan of Nomad, but I actually liked Nomads. He was in a group, and like after their last mission they separated, and I'll go ahead and play this one. I think 7.1 is the one where he says what happens after they separate. So I'll go ahead and be quiet and let y'all guys hear.
They stopped short of dishonorable discharge. The unit was disbanded. We were all reassigned. A few weeks later, I heard one of my friends was dead. An accident with unexploded ordnance. A month later, there was another. A heart attack, I think. The next month, 2 more. A car crash and a suicide. This was the pattern. Someone was taking us out, making it look like accidents or natural causes. I knew it was only a matter of time before someone would come for me. I did the only thing I could. I used my training, got off grid, and disappeared into the jungle. I am now the sole survivor of the 18 men that attacked that camp.
Wow, so someone is after Nomad's team. He's the last one of his team. So he got off the grid, like, just to live. Wow, so who would want to go after Nomad's team as well? That's the weird part. Spectres, Reaper's transmissions actually kind of freaked me out. His 8.1 transmission, I think it is, was just like so weird to me. He's talking to Prophet, and just listen to this. Listen to what happens. It was so confusing to me.
So, you should probably explain what happened after you arrived at the server location.
Compliance. Commencing audio playback.
Here! The EWR is here!
There is no EWR. Only Reaper.
Shut it down! Shut it down! It's not responding! It's not responding to commands!
Metabolize element 82. Inefficiently banned. Optimal fire solution achieved.
That good for you?
Satisfaction. Situation acceptable.
So now, you're a free agent and all. What are you gonna do?
Reap.
Okay, so that just proves that Reaper's robot, but he has a mind of his own. He functions by himself. Reaper is actually a very cool specialist, and that just like freaks me out knowing that he's a robot, but he has a mind of his own. That's just mind-blowing to me. It's just, and his transmission as well. I don't know if he killed Prophet, but he pulled out his scythe whenever Prophet asked him, what do you plan to do now? And he said, reap. You could hear his scythe being deployed. Okay, so now on to Spectre. Spectre's actually he actually gets in a fight with Ruin, and then Ruin ends up threatening him, and then Spectre threatens him back, but in a completely different way. I'll let you guys listen to it.
That whole setup was to smoke out one CDP a-hole, and you couldn't come up with something better than use those guys as bait? Here, I got a better plan for you. Take out their dead and flatten the whole base with standoff. One of these days you're gonna get what's coming to you, buddy. Just hope I'm there to see it.
Was that a threat? Stupid. And naive. This isn't a brawl. This is chess. You're pawns, nothing more. You set up a play, and leave your betters, knights, bishops, queens, You set the stage, doing whatever it takes to make the story convincing. Giving hundreds of lives, it must be. Then, at the right time, with a single flick of my wrist, thousands can be saved.
So he just like threatened Reap. Oh, what's his name? I forgot his name. Oh, I remember now. Spectre just threatened ruin, but in a completely different way. And I actually thought a small part of this transmission was funny because he says one flick of my wrist. And me and my brother were actually thinking like, what if we made like a vine? It says, look at the flick of the wrist, and then it just like shows like a montage of Spectre. that was pretty funny to us. Firebreak, I'll actually let you listen to all his transmissions because they're actually pretty crazy. It shows how his life was as a kid and then how he got into the military. And then at the end, I'll let y'all listen to 9.1 because 9.1 transmission is actually the same for all specialists. So I'll go ahead and let you listen to them.
My family, lots to tell. My mother left because my father was a drunk. No surprise, I acted out every chance I could. Small things first. Little fire here, something broken there. No harm, no foul. One time, he hurt sister pretty bad. Didn't mean to, but grown man was stronger than he think. After that, I set fire to warehouse on other side of train tracks from house. First time I get in trouble with police. Father let me stay in holding cell 3 days. Probably not want anyone seeing sister's broken arm. I was 10 years old.
Okay, so now on to 6.1, and that's that he was arrested for 3 days when he was just 10 years old. He was sent to juvie in this one.
A few months later, after my father had passed out for night in customary stupor, my sister suggested we rid ourselves of the old man for good. Seemed like a good idea. I took his lighter from table and set fire to chair he was snoring in. This was when plan go bad. He woke up, screamed, and ran from room, knocking over spirits on table. Spread fire all over the place. Fire is fickle thing. You think you understand it, then it begs to differ. Father ran from house. Sister got badly burnt. I ended up in juvenile care facility. And that's where I stayed till 17, when I get choice. Adult correctional facility or military service. I picked military service, where now they want me to burn people. Life is strange, no?
So he was put there till he was 17. Remember, he's 10 years old, so he was kept there for 7 years or military service. I would go with military service too if I was like Firebreak. 7.1. He talks about his military.
The job I do, it's not for everyone. It's close-up work. You get to see what you do. You can't deny it. You can't unsee or unsmell it. Used to be, I'd RTB, and the smell of burnt flesh would be so strong, I wouldn't be able to eat. Doesn't bother me anymore. And as you can see, I normally get table to myself. I like to think I'm a problem solver. Enemy has you pinned down? Give me a minute. No problem. Choke point needs choking? Flame. No problem. Hostile sniper using a building as nest? Give me 5 minutes. No building. No problem. You see the trend? Fire really is that versatile.
So he talks about like the problems of getting used to the fire in the beginning, and then he gets used to it, and then he finds no problems doing his job. That's pretty cool. His 8.1 transmission is actually his last transmission. Talks about he's